SwiftData just made data persistence easier. Here's how to use it with a HStack to build a real SwiftUI application. So this is the application we'll be creating. As you can see, it's within a HStack. It enables the user to add toppings that they want for their burger. For example, you can add bacon, lettuce, and as you can see, as I add each topping, the rolling total gets incremented. You can add a pickle, or if you want to, you can also delete the toppings that you added. So if I delete a pickle, the actual running total will be reduced. As you can see, it was reduced, and the application also allows the user to sort on low to high. So it will sort the toppings on the cheapest toppings first. So lettuce is at the top, which is 20 pence, or you can sort on the highest topping. You can also sort by name, which will be in alphabetical order. We can also search for the toppings that we want. If I type in bacon, it filters and narrows the topping to bacon, or if I type in B, or let's try another one, if I type in O, it displays all the toppings that includes the letter O, and that includes bacon, mushroom, tomatoes. We can also add a random topping by clicking on the plus button. And then all of this information is stored in SwiftData and retrieved from SwiftData. Don't forget to subscribe for more Swift and SwiftUI tutorials. In today's tutorial, we need to create a few features which will enable the user to create a final total of their order that includes the amount of toppings that they applied to their order, and also to enable the user to delete the toppings from their order, and to also insert temporary data into SwiftData if the database is empty. So these are the functions we're going to be creating right now. So the first function is private var selected, and this is a computed property, selected total, which is double. And the purpose of this property is to calculate the amount of toppings the user has applied to the order, to the customer's order. Selected dot contains $0 dot UUID. On line 146, it should be toppings and not topping. Yeah, that's correct now. And then we also type in map, because we want to perform the total on the price. So it will calculate all of the prices for the toppings within a loop using reduce, 0, and the plus sign. So that's toppings dot filter, open bracket selected. Yeah, I'm missing a bracket somewhere. which is there. And there shouldn't be a bracket on line 149, that should be deleted. The next function that we need to create is the delete function. So when the user clicks on the trash can, the topping will be deleted from the HStack and also deleted from SwiftData. Private func delete topping, which is our topping object. modelContext dot delete the topping from the database. Selected dot remove the actual topping as well from the array using the UUID. And we also need to create another function which is called seeded or seed if needed. And the purpose of this function, it will populate SwiftData database with temporary data if the data table is empty. That should be toppings. I'll just get that from the clipboard. Let me pause it first. So I'll just paste everything on the clipboard and I'll just indent it or re-indent it. So as you can see, by default there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 toppings that will be inserted into SwiftData when the application is first loaded. And the inserts is done within a for each loop as well. We'll make it a little bit neater. I'll just compile it. So what else do we need to do now? Another thing that we need to do is to include our what else? I think we've done that. We need to include our extension for our topping identifiable. Extension topping identifiable var ID UUID we can delete that one there. So the purpose of the extension is that it will be needed to loop through each of the toppings within the HStack. And what else do we need to do now? Let me compile it again. So what we need to do, we also need to add the model container to our Windows group content view. So we need to import SwiftData and then apply the .model container. And it's needed so that the application is persisted correctly, so that it persists the data correctly and it doesn't crash. After line 134, we need to add a divider. So the purpose of the divider is to show how many of the toppings have been selected, as I said earlier, and to show the actual total price, or the running price, the running total of all the items, of all the toppings that the user has applied to the customer's order. So I'll just paste the code what's on the clipboard and explain the code afterwards. So what we have now, we have created a divider on lines 135, and that's the divider. It's really faint. And also we display the actual selected total, which is formatted to 2 decimal places. And for the navigation title, we have the caption, which is add toppings with a burger system image. And then we call the seed if needed function that will populate SwiftData with temporary data when the data table or the database is empty. Just compile it. And that's the end of the tutorial. Let's see if there's anything missing first, just in case. Let's see. Oh yeah, the delete toppings. Let me compile it again. Let's jump to the definition of delete toppings, and it will delete the topping from SwiftData on this line 174, and it will also delete the topping from the HStack, from the array.